Hey everybody, this is Tim. Just doing a little video update on what's going on at the house, the urban homestead. This is the strawberry patch. Got a lot of blooms coming on. Probably end up with some strawberries in April. Here's my herb. Some of my herbs I'm growing. You got your rosemary. It stayed out all winter. Did okay. Sage always does pretty well in the winter, and of course mint. I didn't realize mint actually preferred cooler weather, because in the summer this kind of dies off. You got your collard greens. This stuff has been cut recently. Carla comes out and cuts it. Mustard green, and I have broccoli, but I believe it's going to seed, so I'm going to let it go to seed and collect the seeds. Looks like I've got that's Paris Cos lettuce, and this is one that looks like it's also going to seed, which is fine. I'm gonna let it. And spinach, and then we have the Russian kale in the back, and this is a kind of volunteer mustard green. It's actually done pretty good. And I put some more spinaches in. I'm gonna do, this year I'm doing red, white, and blue theme, and these are pansies all in the front, which will survive very cold weather. My reds are more purple, a little bit of purple red. That's just what they got. And then I got white and ended up with the yellow. Must have had a different seed or plant that I picked that I thought was white. And the same thing happened up here with the blues. I think I got a white one in there. But I'm just going to leave them. Let them grow. These are bachelor buttons. They grow pretty tall, about 3 to 4 feet. So this whole thing is based on height. So you got 6-inch to 12-inch, and then up to 24 inches in the second row. And then the third row is 3 to 4 feet. And then the back row is going to be sunflowers and morning glories and moonflower on the fence. So still working on this. Been kind of working on it for the last couple months. Anyway, this is the front yard. The reason my yard is so green is I use winter rye. Alright, so I'm going to hit the pause and head to the backyard. Okay, entering the backyard, I've got, this is my dirt bags that I get from a landscape company. It has a mixture of compost and topsoil. It's a really good mix. It's not like sawdust and the water goes through it. I've gotten that stuff before from other companies, and it's just a mess it's a pain to try to keep things watered, because the moisture just goes straight through. This soil actually holds pretty good with moisture. Here is Paris Cos lettuce across the front in these containers. I'm going to continue to try to grow this lettuce, and I got a method I'm going to try to keep it a little cooler. Not in this particular box, but in in another box, and I'll show it to you in a minute. That is Swiss chard, mustard green, got some kale down here. Again, this is some more broccoli going to seed, and I'm going to let it. And also some spinach here in a container. Also, one of those is going to seed. So in this box we set up the other day, I put the little frame over the top. It didn't have the frame all winter, and it did. All this stuff survived 14 degrees, so that was good. Previous year it got down to like 9 degrees, and pretty much everything got, didn't make it. So in this particular box I added, we got the frame, the shade cloth, and then the misters. So in this particular area, this tree up here, in the summer around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, this whole area gets shade, so that's a benefit. Most of this lettuce stuff can take 6 hours of sun, so if it gets 7 a.m. to 1 or 2 p.m., I think we'll be fine. And again, more Paris Cost lettuce. We like this lettuce. It grows straight up. It's really easy to grow and easy to harvest. I put in some celery, and you'll see little plants like this around because I go in and replace. Once we pick one of these, I go in and replace it. I put some celery in. I didn't look at the growing season for celery, but I'm going to try it in this particular box because this box is going to remain kind of a cool box. So stuff that would prefer less sun, less heat, I'm going to put it in here. Okay, going up. I call this tunnel 2 or the nursery. I pulled a lot of stuff out. Some of the stuff I'm going to propagate. You got zinnias, petunias, bachelor buttons. These are all petunias here in small containers, and I'm going to, once I know the color of them, and I started all these from seed, so once I know the color of these petunias, I'm going to try to propagate or clone them. These are pansies. They survived the whole winter outside. I think I bought them from Home Depot. I collected seed pods from them and replanted them, and some of those blues and whites in the front are from these plants. We did this the other day. I don't know if it'll survive, but I know the pansies in the front will survive. But we did it around this tree. This is a stump that we had the tree cut down, and it's got the stump. I wanted the stump just for whatever, to mess around with the decorations on it and stuff. But that, you got a moonflower, which is a big white flower, and then morning glories, different colored morning glories, and I'm going to try to get them to trellis up around this this tree. This bucket I kind of designated for collard green, mustard green, and a lettuce, a Paris Cost, to collect the seeds. So we're still going to cut the leaves, harvest the leaves and stuff, but we're not, once it goes to flower, we're going to let that flower go and collect the seeds. All right, we got chamomile. These are chives, and there's some more chamomile, and we've actually got some little buds on that. These are some of the other petunias. I actually up potted these, and of course up potting them just made them grow a lot more, and I've already started propagation on the white petunias, but there's a really pretty purple there, and then there's this other, like a purple or pink white one. I'm gonna find out what my mom wants. I'm gonna try to propagate some for her. And this is a Cosmos, which also I have mixture of Cosmos, big seeds. A lot of times you can't buy particular colors that you want directly, like red, white, and blue. You have to get mixed seeds. So I did a lot of mixed seeds, and I'm just waiting on them to show me what color they are, and then I'll start propagating. In this particular, this is tunnel number 1, and what I did in this tunnel all winter was grew tomatoes and mainly tomatoes and green peppers. And then I'm thinking, well, I should actually have more stuff, you know. So this coming summer and fall, I'm gonna kind of change probably the way I have this set up, and I'm gonna use more bags and things like that. But I've actually already started. I started maybe a month ago or 6 weeks ago. I started some cucumbers and green beans over there. I'll show them to you from the other side. The tomatoes slowed down because I think I lowered the temperature, the minimum temperature in here, and that affected the way the tomatoes propagated, basically, because they don't like temperatures below 55. And I've always known that, but I lowered the temperature anyway, just for power bill reasons or whatever, and then the tomatoes slowed down. But all winter, December, January, and February, we had really nice tomatoes coming out here. And there's a little one still on that particular plant, and that's actually very small compared to the ones that we were getting all year. This is some dill plants I had planted a couple months ago. I put them in bags, tried different things. I really never grew dill. Talked to my mom, and she told me different things on how to save the dill, and I've been doing that, and it looks like it's trying to go to seed, and I might let it just to get the seeds. So the two parts of this is growing for us, you know, for us to consume, like tomatoes and peppers and just anything that, like, I like plants that produce a lot or keep on producing, not just a one-time thing. So that's the goal. Here's a pepper plant that it's been in here all winter, but it was kind of half dead. Now it's starting to push out leaves and blooms, and then I also got some green beans. So that's another thing I want to try to do, is maybe a few plants of green beans, like bush green beans. And of course the cucumbers, they're going to be vine, so I'm going to set them up maybe on the back side, let them come up on this wire frame, and then maybe set up a frame on, or some type of wiring or something on the top to where it can grab on. Here's some more Cosmos. I'm about to see a flower on that one, and I planted some radishes in here and here, just trying them in different sizes to see, because I think I can actually grow a whole head of lettuce in a gallon bag, because it's growing. When you pull the root out of that lettuce, it's not very deep at all. It's only like 4 inches deep on a whole head of lettuce. So if I don't need soil that deep and it'll grow the whole head, then I'll just use some grow bags or something like that. Here's a green pepper that's been around. It's been around now this is the second year for it. It kind of slowed down, and I gave it some Miracle Grow and stuff, and kind of cut down on the watering, because from what I've been reading and all this stuff is that the green peppers don't like as much water like tomatoes. That tomatoes can grow in water basically, so it's very hard to overwater a tomato, especially if you've got proper drainage. And this is a basically this is a clone tomato plant of the one I had growing all winter, and I've actually got baby tomatoes on it toward the bottom. So I'm gonna really control this one and cut out all the suckers and try to just get a few. I always come in and fill after a flower has bloomed. I come in and fill the fill the bloom, or give it a little squeeze, and I can tell if there's a tomato popping out. So we've got a few tomatoes coming in on this. So, and once they start growing, even that small, that's only going to take 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and you'll have a full tomato. As long as I keep it watered and fed, and it'll do fine. So this is the greenhouse that I've had for I've had it for 4 or 5 years now, and I just redid some of the siding and the roof. And okay, so in here I have another tomato plant. I had one in here. This is different than the one I had in over the winter, but it was growing as a baby, and it has blooms on it, and as long as it stays warm and stuff, I think I'm gonna get some really early tomatoes. This is another Cosmos, or there's actually about 8 or 9 Cosmos in this container, and I've got white, and then like a really pretty purple, pink. I say purple. This is pink. It's pretty, but it's not the color that I want. I'm looking for red, white, and blue, or really light, purple or blue, that looks like blues, as close to blue as you can get. These are lavender. I got lavender from my niece, Cassie, over Thanksgiving. About 10 cuttings she gave me, and pretty much all of them have I put them in soil, and basically they propagated, they created roots, and now I've up-potted them, and even a couple of them have flower. I've never been successful at growing lavender until now by doing the cuttings. Okay, so this is a bachelor button, and that's more of a kind of a purple. I think I've got, let's see, is that the same plant? Nope, different plant. I think there's a really pretty blue one gonna pop out off of this one. And I went ahead and moved. I had a couple containers in the front on the strawberry bed. I put it, they were sitting on the wood frame, these particular containers, and I just brought them. I want to see if I can get some a little bit early strawberries, but it looks like there is some babies strawberries coming out. Here's some more lavender up potting that I did off of those cuttings, and this is a rosemary cutting, and I just tested. I was testing to see if I could do the same thing with rosemary. I took a cutting, I put it in a small container with soil, and it rooted, and I went ahead and up potted it. Here's some basil. This basil came from my mom's house last May, end of May, and I kept, it was actually this plant right here, which I call, you know, my sign's almost, it's called a mother plant, but it, I kept taking, I brought the little cutting home, propagated it, and then I up potted it, and then I kept taking cuttings off of that. So I ended up with, I don't know, unlimited amount of basil plants. So I can do it again. I don't need to seed basil. I can just take cuttings and do propagations a whole lot easier. I've had certain seeds I just have issues with, and I don't have patience or something. I keep them too wet or too dry. I'm learning all that. So this was tunnel 1 with the vegetable growth all winter. This is tunnel 2, which I kind of call the nursery. So I start stuff inside the house under lights, and then once they get 4 leaves or more, I bring them out here. And as you can see, I've got eggplant. These are some clones off of that tomato plant in there that gave us a lot of tomatoes. Got some more celery back here, cilantro, and a whole bunch more lettuce. I got to keep these, slow them down because I don't need them right now. Still got some I need to plant that haven't been planted. I went ahead and did some. I had seeds from I bought seeds over the years or whatever. I went ahead and planted. These are some more petunias right here, and then these are Roma tomatoes, which are really good for sauces. I got a couple banana peppers, and this is the actual same tomato plant, which is a beefsteak tomato that's actually growing. So I've got, those are beefsteak and these are beefsteak. I'm just gonna make sure I have plenty of them. I'm probably gonna plant most of them in bags, like 7-gallon bags, and then trellis them up so that we have a better crop. Here's some mint that I'm propagating. Basically took cuttings off of, or pulled out roots. These are all vincas. They're mixed vincas. I don't know what color they are, so I'm going to have to kind of wait, but these need a lot of heat to really grow well. I've been growing these ones. They're kind of looking kind of rough, but they were growing since December, and they're just really slow. I don't think it was warm enough for them, even out here. I don't let it get below 45, but it's probably too cold for the vincas, so they just kind of stall and don't grow. These are some of the morning glories. I transplanted some last week, but they've already got the vines. They're reaching out, and there's a ladybug. Ladybugs are very good for eating the aphids and stuff off of the leaves. This is the moonflower. These things popped up. I started these on the 1st, and within 4 days they had big giant leaves on them. So I probably started them too early. We'll see. I got one out there. It's supposed to get cold Sunday night, Monday night. Just probably a light frost or whatever. So we'll see if they survive. This is a container I had some moss rose, and I kind of spread the seeds around, and they're popping up. And this is also one of the clones, so I'm going to take out I'm going to keep more control of these suckers on these plants so they don't just go everywhere. Some more chamomile plants, some chives, another petunia. I found these at like Dollar General. They had them for like, they were selling them for like $1. They were half price, so it was on sale. They're called lemon cypress. I up potted them, but they said these things can grow 60 feet, so I'm not gonna allow that. But I mean, there's not gonna grow 60 feet in this container, but I am gonna up pot them to something bigger. And then this is one of the basils going to seed. So I'm always gonna try the seeds. You know, I'm gonna let this go to seed, collect the seeds, and then try it and see how it goes. All right, this is I had a bag of like wildflower, hummingbird, butterfly mix, and I just went ahead and filled this. It's like a 17 gallon. I filled it up, so this is going to be all kind of mixed colors, but I just want to see how it does. I tried to do it last year in a tray, like a seed tray, but then when I tried to transplant everything, it fell apart. I mean, it just didn't work. So with this, I can just leave it alone, keep them watered a little bit, and they get sun. And then the other thing about this greenhouse is it does have a set of lights, grow lights. So the grow lights will come on even when it gets dark for another 2 hours, another 2 or 3 hours. And I think it comes on at 6 in the morning. I think that's how I have it set. So a lot of these plants get a whole lot more sunlight, or a lot of sunlight, and that keeps them from, like these babies, it keeps them from getting all leggy. Like if they didn't have enough sunlight, they just shoot up and get real tall. They're trying to reach the sun. So the lights really help on that. There's a little cucumber plant, another green bean plant with blooms on it, celery in a bag, and thyme in a bag. So we're going to close the video down, but that's kind of the tour on today, which I believe is the 16th of March. So we'll see how everything goes. All this stuff is not staying outside. As you notice, it's all in containers. And so if it's going to be, like, even when it rains real hard, I'd bring them in. I take them into one of the tunnels or greenhouse, and so just to give it a little more time to get established. These are not going to remain. These are just plants that I'm going to propagate, clone. So I put them in all kind of weird containers, ice cream containers. There's a Home Depot quart, I think a 2 quart or 3, I don't know, 5 quart, whatever container. But the bags, I'm trying the bags this year. I've done container growing before, had really good success with buckets. But I read all the reviews on these, on the bag growing, and everybody just swears by them. It's about the, even though it's black in color, it actually helps maintain the soil temperature by, I guess, by wicking out excess water, but also by doing that, it cools the bag. So the bag at the bottom is actually cool as long as it's got water and a little bit of water. So we'll see how this goes this year. It's going really well. I've started sweet peas, potatoes, and potatoes right here. Yep, so all those in the bag. I'm gonna wait till these grow a little bit. They say to let them grow 6 inches or so, 6, 7, 8 inches, and then throw more dirt. And then I'm gonna do that until the bag is full, basically, and see how that goes and see how many potatoes I get. If I get a 10-pound bag of potatoes, then I'll do, I'll do more bags of these. Probably be easier to harvest and everything by doing it in the bag. All right, well, we will talk to you guys soon. I'm gonna start doing little videos, maybe once or twice a week. Put them on the blog, and you guys let me know, what you think. Give me some comments. All right. Bye.